Good morning. This is Chris Robinson, Robinson Ag Marketing with today's pre-opening grain and livestock comments for Monday, September 29th, 2025. We've got a small grains report coming up tomorrow. I can tell you that anybody that had October options that expired, uh, most of you did not replace them. That worries me, to tell you the truth. I would have something on just in case this is a nasty report and they find a lot more supply out there. The word is out, nationally that everybody knows the farmer is very, very undersold. Some estimates have them that as low as 10 to 15% sold. um, yeah, and they're coming up to a situation where there's going to be a lot of stuff for sale here, just seasonally, especially if everybody decides to pull a trigger at the same time. So that's my concern. There's only one way to defend against, drop back down to 390. I get it. We're trading at 420 right now. Do you care about 30 cents? I think you might if we go sub 390. But if you don't have the hedge on, you have no defenses. It's like walking out in the field. The hedge is your foxhole. You need to be able to dive down into that thing and take cover. And so that's all I can tell you. November beans overnight. Didn't really fall out of bed, but down below 1012 again, which is a big, big key level. 1012 is the 62% retracement of the last 80-cent rally that we had. Remember, we went from 981 to 1062. Uh, the concern is what happens if we go sub $10 again? Are we going back down to 970, 980 area where we were back in April on the first um, tariff, I guess, sell off is what you want to call it. So yeah, you have to defend, defend, defend. I know it's not a good place to be in. I wish we were in a situation where we were kicking our heels together, saying, "Wow, look, we've got really good prices." We don't. I would defend what's left. Overnight, D's corn down 2.25 cents at 419 and three quarters, traded as low as 419. November beans overnight down 5 cents, trading at 10.08 and three quarters. December wheat down a penny, 518 and three quarters. Kansas City wheat down three quarters cent, 504 in the orders. We'll see today what happens in the livestock. We finished in the green a little bit on over the weekend. On Friday going to the weekend. However, for the week, it wasn't a very good performance for cattle. We'll have to see if we continue to try and retest those contract highs. I did do a very big breakdown. I spent about 4 hours. Um, I guess I did it Sunday morning this time. Usually I do it Saturday, but I went down and I did a bunch of charts, a bunch of long-term charts where you can sort of see. It's one thing to have somebody, write a big long paragraph. I like looking at the charts because the charts are visual. They give you a better understanding, I think, of what the risk is there. When people say, "What's the risk?" I try to point that out every week. So there's some key levels in there. If you're not getting the letter, please sign up and take a look at it. In the outside market, stock market's a couple hundred points higher this morning. S&P's up 34, $35. We continue to sit up there at all-time highs. We continue to worry about, are we going to get a government shutdown, and are we going to continue to get USDA numbers if they shut the government down? There's something there. Some of you might say that's probably just as well we don't get any numbers from these guys because um, of whatever your bias is against the USDA. I don't go down that path. The information is the information. Everybody has to deal with it. Um, I look at it as like it's a necessary evil, and it's not going away. So I'd rather hedge for it and deal with it. U.S. dollar a little bit lower tonight. We're have to see if we can get some sort of a turnaround in the wheat. But I think the number one story is out there. Everybody's waiting to see who's going to blink first. There's a lot of unsold grain out there. I think if we come out with a number where we have a higher carry than this 1.3, there could be some issues with some downside pressure in corn. Again, me pointing that out is not me promising you that we're going to go lower. I hope that the lows are in, okay? But if you've got unsold bushels, I would get a cheap put on because at least if you have a cheap, and I'm talking 4, 5, 6, 7, you don't have to spend a lot of money. You can get these weekly options now. but you're not obligated to take a gut punch, even if the news is bad. The idea would be to it's back in the 60s, if you're old enough, 60s and 70s, you could go to the airport and go on a airplane, and people used to be scared of flying, and rightly so, because a lot of airplanes had some issues back there in the 60s and 70s, or at least perceived issues. I mean, heck, you could sit there and smoke a cigarette. That's another story. But you could buy life insurance just for the day. I think it was that Mutual Omaha. They used to have a stand there. You could literally go up and say, okay, or whatever, I'm going on vacation for a week. That is what these options can do for you. They can protect your downside, and you don't have to go out and buy, 10, 12 years ago, you used to go out and buy, a bunch of time. So get something on the books. Me saying get something on the books is not me predicting that we're going to collapse. That's nonsense. But it's up to you. Do you want to defend what's left of these corn prices, or do you just want to roll the dice? This is Chris Robinson. Have a good rest of the day. I'm here to help. If you want to talk about hedging, if you want to talk about specifically what looks good out there, give me a call. If you're not getting my letter, sign up for it. Also, you'll get my private client weekly seminar. I did a pretty in-depth one on Thursday and sent it out to everybody. This is Chris Robinson, 312-638-8868. Have a great day.